He woke up. Ball in the air. Noco will tip it into the backcourt. Willing will come up with it. Here comes Harrison. Harrison runs the point. Cavs in a man-to-man to start things off defensively. Harrison now drops off to Burton. Burton's 15-footer off the mark. McCord inside with a putback, and it's up and in. Good work by Peyton McCord to get the first two of the afternoon, and the Cards lead early. Ladson off a pick from Webb. Over to Oliver on the wing in the corner to Noco. Noco looks inside, nothing there. Back up top to KJ. KJ crosses the defender over, kicks back to Noco. Noco on the drive, 15 on the shot clock. Shovel shot off the mark. Rebound Rohart. Here come the Cards. Up ahead to Burton. Burton all the way to the rack. Drops off late, trying to get it to McCord and overshot her by a couple of steps. Ladson with the steal all the way to the rack. Can't get that one to fall. And Rohart has 2 rebounds, and then she walks with it. Yeah, she got a little anxious after she got the rebound there, Buster, and shuffled the feet. In this league, they'll call that every time. Ladson will
Sometimes they won't.
Sometimes they won't. That is true. Ladson up top to Noco. New shot clock for the Cavs. Now Oliver thought about driving. Will back it up with a right-hand dribble. Feeds top of the key to Sanita, who swings to KJ. KJ inside to Noco. Noco will back things off. Back inside to Sanita. Sanita going to work on the block. Left-hand scoop shot off the glass and smooth.
So far, coming with these first 2 possessions, Cavaliers trying to be aggressive in the paint, trying to get the easy paint scores.
Yeah, with more out, why not? 2 all our score, 8:45 remaining first quarter. Up top to McCord, the 5'10 freshman forward. The only post player on the floor right now for the Cardinals. They'll swing to Rohart. Rohart to the elbow. Kicks back to Burton. Burton then drives. Leaves in the corner for Lipscomb. Lipscomb resets. 5 on the shot clock. They feed inside to Harrison. Harrison's turnaround won't go. Rebound tipped around, and Ladson comes up with it for the Cavs. Good defensive stop for the Cavs. Ladson late drops into Sanita, and Sanita has all 4 in the Cavs with their first lead of the night, 4-2.
Well, the Jesuit got caught a little bit lacking in going down transition. Cost them on that.
The Cavs have been more athletic than most teams they've played, and they've shown it off here early today. Harrison hands off to Burton. Burton then gives to Rohart. Rohart on a little weave gives to Harrison. Harrison top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Now drives on KJ, spins in the corner to McCord. McCord drives baseline, tries to feed it in the corner to Lipscomb, but it's knocked out by Sanita. Cards will have the basketball, but they only have 5 seconds to work with. Cavs set up in the 2-3. From the baseline, Rohart triggers in up top to Burton. Burton tries to get free, top of the key. Chuck shot at the buzzer off the back iron, no good.
There you go.
Sanita with another rebound. She's going to bring it up herself. All the way she goes. Late picks up her dribble, finds Noco top of the key. Spot up long 2, got it. Sanita drove in a little too far, almost panicked, but found Noco up top, and Noco bails her out at 6'2".
She's really good at going coast to coast, so when she gets the ball, expect her to go all the way and finish with a layup sometimes.
Yeah, she's pretty selfish when she gets the rebound. Burton, selfish on her own right, takes the shot in. McCord gets the rebound, and then Ladson with the steal. Ladson all the way, blocking foul, and Ladson with the line to shoot the first free throws of the afternoon.
One thing about Jazz, I really love how she plays defense. Like, I know her personally, and like, I call it the female Gary Payton, how he just gets in you and you can't get rid of him. That's a great person to have because she always guards the best ball handler. She takes on that responsibility every game.
Ladson's only 5'3", but she has tremendous court vision. She almost sees the court open up as she's coming out of the backcourt. She misses the front end here. Neither team will sub. 7:09 remaining. First quarter. Cavs with an early 6-4 lead. Ladson's second on the way is true. The Cavs and the extra point at 7-2. Rohart will bring it up for the Cards. Jesuit looking for a bucket. They led 2-0 early. That one will not go as Rohart's shot is knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cards. They led 2-0, and it's been a 6-0, 7-0 run now for the Cavs. Cards from the baseline. Rohart running out of options and out of time. Up top to Burton is just shy of 5 seconds. Burton going to work on Oliver. Man-to-man defense as Cavs stay in it, and it works out in their favor. Ladson's pressure on Harrison allows a bad pass to go over her head and out of bounds. Just under 7 to go, first quarter. Cavs led throughout at Jesuit. Looking to do the same here at home. Oliver off the top of the key pick goes to the left block. Her floater off the mark inside. That's scooped up by Lipscomb of the Cards. Jesuit on the run. Up ahead to Harrison. Harrison all the way to the rack, drops off to Burton. Now Burton's push shot floats out.
Almost
KJ comes down with the board. 6:28 remaining. Oliver got tied up there. Rare mistake by Hannah Oliver. She was going for the shot and then decided late to hand off to Ladson, but she came down before she could get rid of the basketball, and it'll be a turnover. 6:24 and counting. 7-2 our lead. Rohart hands off top of the key to Harrison. Harrison then gives to Burton. Cavs locking in man-to-man, and then Sunita inside, tipped away the entry pass, but it gets right back to McCord, who finds Burton up top. Her three on the way, off the mark, I should say. And Noko skies above everyone for the rebound. Oliver pushes up ahead to Sunita. Sunita lost it late.
So far, Willen Jesuit is doing a pass screen, and every time Cavaliers are switching, so just look for the Cavaliers to switch pretty much on every screen this game, at least so far.
Yeah, very, very good defensively. They've got their head on a swivel with these screens. Coming into the ball game, Talia Cashwell, 5'7" junior out of South Charleston. She checks in the dead ball. First foul called on the Cavs will be on Ladson, her first on a push at the timeline. It's Cashwell, who just checked in, has to tie her shoe. She's ready to go. Cashwell had 7 points, 2 bounds in the game in Wheeling weeks ago. And a foul for a turnover as Peyton McCord tried to make a drive attempt but shuffled her feet and gives it right back to the Cavs. 7-2 our score. Cavs on a 7-0 run after down 2-0. Ladson in the front court gives up to KJ. KJ will run the point this possession off a pick from Noko. Drives, picks up her dribble, kicks to Oliver. Oliver goes, and Sunita Webb pulls away from a pick, sets up down low. Ladson, top of the key with 10 on the shot clock. Sunita in the high post as Janice drives, kicks to Noko. Noko fakes a 3, drives, long 2, off the mark. KJ wide open board, put back, rims out, but Sunita chases it down into the corner, and the Cavs get a new shot clock. Ladson will reset as she checks Coach Klusman at the scores table. 5:05 remaining, just moments away from our first media timeout. And Sunita's fouled on the pass.
Right now, Willen Jesuit is giving up too many second chance rebounds. With them struggling offensively, they really need to grab these rebounds to help the offensive game as well.
You can definitely tell early that Chanel Moore is not on the floor.
Yeah,
Chanel was cleaning up rebounds all afternoon despite the loss.
It hurts them.
Up top to KJ goes the entry pass. 5 minutes to go, first quarter. KJ drives, spins, left hand teardrop, comes out on her. Rebound in the corner, chased down, but scooped up there by Rohart. Rohart's going to push as Jesuit has numbers. Burton to the rack, covered up by Sunita. She'll back it out, then tries again. Feeds inside to McCord. McCord up and under 2 Cavalier defenders and gets the 2. That was a pretty post move by McCord.
It was nice that she split the defenders in the post move.
7-4 our score, just moments away from our Food City media timeout. Oliver, top of the key, spots up 3 ball in the way. That one's off the mark. Chase down the corner. KJ keeps the ball alive, and Ladson, as it hits off a Jesuit defender, Ladson scoops up a loose ball. Jesuit sets up in the zone as Ladson pops long 2 off the mark. Rebound inside. That one pulled down by Rohart. Cardinals want to push again. Here comes Cashwell. Cashwell left wing, slows it down, kicks to Burton on the right wing. KJ right in her grill. 15 on the shot clock. In the corner they go to Rohart. Rohart dribble drive inside to McCord. McCord open and lays it up and in. Noko came to defend Rohart and left McCord wide open inside. 7-6.
She was kind of in a bad spot right there anyway. If she helps, then that happens. Doesn't help, she gets an easy layup.
Yeah, so. Exactly. 7-6, 4-0 run by the Cardinals. Cavs need a bucket. Oliver swings to Noko. Noko looking inside, trying to bounce it into KJ, and it's kicked. Timeout on the floor, brought to you by Food City. 3:36 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-6 our score. Cavs lead by an extra point. You're watching Cavalier basketball right here, the Cavalier Sports Network. Peyton McCord was 6, all 6 for the Cardinals. So she's picking up where Chanel Moore left off.
And so far, neither team is really shooting that well. So far, Willen Jesuit is shooting 33%. UVA is only shooting 30%. So, and they're both kind of running the same type of style: dribble, penetrate, kick out. So, expect more shots to fall in these next few minutes.
Cavs with the basketball, the kick ball. They feed inside to KJ. KJ drives up to Ada Stanley, who just checked in the ball game. 5 on the shot clock. Ada spins, scoop shot, a little short. Rebound underneath, scooped up by the Cardinals.
It was a good spin move, but she lost her footing, which eventually messed up the layup for her.
Yeah, it was get rid of it or walk. Burton in the front court. Swings to Rohart, back up to Burton. Jesuit led 2-0 early. They could retake the lead here. Burton, right wing, looking inside. McCord's covered. Up to Cashwell. Cashwell spots up, 3 ball. Got it. That's why they named her Cashwell. She's money, and she hits the first 3 of the afternoon. It's 9-7. Cardinals back on top. Ladson in the front court. Lets traffic clears. Oliver comes to the top of the key off a pick. Bounce pass into Stanley. Ada going to work. Picks up a dribble. Shovel pass over to Sunita, and Sunita walked with it.
I think going down this game, they're going to really rely on Ada Stanley for some post buckets in this later.
Ashley Cullen will check in for KJ. Ada Stanley had 10 points, 5 boards in the win at Jesuit. Ashley Cullen had 3 rebounds to win as well. Jesuit with the basketball and a 2-point lead one more time. Burton into the front court off the pick, gets rid of Oliver to the rag. Layup is good. Well-designed play there out of the dead ball. Shedded Oliver and went right at the post player and up and under, gets the 2. It's 11-7, 4-point advantage, biggest lead of the night for the Cards. Oliver, top of the key, picks up a dribble, swings to Janice. Ladson high post to Ada. Ada, dribble drive, spin move in the lane, off the glass and in. Pretty move. She spun and got square and used the backboard for 2, and Cavs are down 2.
That spin move started to be one of her signature moves. She started to professionalize it, actually.
That and taking picks. She's really good at taking charges, I should say.
The whole team is good at taking picks. A lot of offensive calls.
Burton drives, feeds on a pick and roll to McCord, and it's out of bounds over McCord's head. It'll go back to the Cavs. They've tried to feed it inside to McCord a few times and overshot her. McCord's 5'10", but some of those passes, I don't know if someone as tall as we are, Buster, would pick those up. Under 2 to go. Cavs looking to at least tie or take the lead. Inside to go to Stanley. Stanley turns, kicks to Ladson. Ladson looks inside. Sunita covered up. Up top to Oliver, 10 on the shot clock. Oliver by her defender, and the floater of the left hand is off the mark, but Oliver will shoot 2. Oliver will head to the line. 13 foul on the Cards. That'll be the first on McCord. Hannah's first free throw is true. McCord will come out into the ball game for the Cardinals. Is Alyssa Edwards-Frick, 6-foot freshman out of Zanesville, Ohio. Oliver hits them both, and we're knotted up at 11. Frick had 2 points in the loss at Jesuit weeks ago. Off the timeline comes Harrison. Left-hand dribble. High post she goes to Frick. Frick turns, squares up Ada. Now drives, picks up her dribble, and kicks in the corner to Cashwell. Cashwell on the drive, lost it. Otherwise would have had a wide open layup. Burton scoops up the basketball with 5 on the shot clock. Ladson right in her grill. Burton running out of time. Kicks in the corner, and a chuck at the buzzer off the mark. What a defensive stop there for the Cavaliers. Oliver looking for more. Behind the back dribble. Feeds inside to Ada. Ada Stanley doing Ada Stanley things. That shot was a little off the mark. Sunita's return shot knocked away, but Janice steals away the basketball and is fouled on the floor. That was wild.
She has to be so frustrated for other guards because she's just everywhere. You can't get rid of her. It's like a rash. You just can't go away.
Yeah, the block came right to Burton, and Burton thought she had a wide open lane to the basket, and Janice said, nah, not today. Ladson's first free throw is rattles home, and the Cavs are back on top. And Oliver, well-deserved breather as J.K. Cummings comes into the first action this afternoon. Judy had 6 points and a rebound in the win at Jesuit. Ladson hits them both, and the Cavs are back up by 2. Under a minute to go. 7 seconds separate game clock from shot clock. Burton in the front court. Ladson giving her fits. One-on-one. This is fun to watch. Ladson's just trying to go after that basketball. Burton can't shake her. 10 on the shot clock. Burton now gets away from Ladson. Spots up 15-footer is good. It took Burton 25 seconds to fill Ladson out, and the Cavs will have the last opportunity here to retake the lead. Ladson hits off to Cullen. Ashley off a defender to the rack at the buzzer. Offensive foul. Cullen runs over the defender. That's her first foul. And Cards may have to throw one up. So Ladson will get a breather, so will Sanita. Mackenzie Keene checks in, as does Quint Gomez. And the Cards will just hold as the final second runs off the clock. 1 quarter in the books, 13 all our score. Fun basketball game here at the Pryor Center. Come back for the start of the second quarter. You're watching Cavalier basketball here on the Cavaliers Sports Network. 13 all our score after 1 quarter of play. Peyton McCord leads the way for the Cardinals with 6 points, 2 rebounds. She picked up her first foul, and they were quick to get her out. So they're trying to keep her in the ball game as long as possible, Buster. No one really in foul trouble other than Lauren Lipscomb. She has 2. Cavs are led by Sanita Webb with 4 points, 3 rebounds. After 1 quarter of play, it'll be Cavalier basketball to start the second quarter. Gomez, Cullen, King, Stanley, and Cummings on the floor for the team in white. They feed into McKenzie, and McKenzie is called for an offensive foul.
What was it, like a wraparound? Okay.
I say so. Usually they warn you the first time and then we'll call it on you, but McKenzie, no such warning for her. Cardinals with an opportunity here to take an early second quarter lead as they bring it in the front court. Burton up top. They'll swing it near side to Cashwell. Cashwell, touch pass to Burton from Harrison. Now back up top to Harrison into Cashwell. Cashwell drops in late to Rohart. Rohart in the lane, covered up by 4 defenders. They'll leave up top for Burton on the wing. Her 3 is good.
UVA Wash switched up their defense. Look like they're in 3-2 now, so I think they want to limit them to tough 3-point shots in this.
And Burton made a tough one there. And another offensive foul.
Man.
That's going to be called on Quick Gomez.
Oh, man.
You can see Gomez's face like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Gomez's first, team second. Cards with a 3-point lead in the basketball. In the corner from Harrison to Burton, back to Harrison. They'll feed high post to Cashwell. In the corner, 3 ball on the way. That one from Harrison off the mark, and Quick Gomez cleans up the glass. Gomez across the timeline, looking up, finds JK in the corner. JK fake shot, spots up in the corner, feeds inside to Stanley. Stanley's take is off the mark. Rebound inside Jesuit, and a foul will go in the other way.
Coming down to defense, looks for Willie Jesuit to hit the ball in the middle, and then with that being said, she can find anywhere she wants. She can dribble, penetrate. She can dribble, penetrate, and make the open 3. So there's a lot of good opportunities once you get the ball in the middle and press it in the middle.
Cullen has 2 personals now. She'll sit for a while. KJ's back in the ball game. Cardinals now trying to figure out this 2-3 zone. In the corner they go to Rohart. Rohart up top trying to find Harrison, and the basketball will land in the arms of Daryl Dingus Ely. Good catch down there. 16-13 Cavs with an opportunity here to cut into the deficit. Gomez will run the point with Ladson on the bench. Left-hand dribble. Goes left to the top of the key. KJ now comes up left wing. She'll drive baseline to the rack, and a foul on the floor.
Surprised
set it up
call that
underneath.
offensive foul.
That was, yeah, the way the last couple of possessions have been going. I was afraid that may happen, but nonetheless, the Cards pick up the foul. They'll get that with on Cashwell, her first, team first of the quarter. Gomez will pull the trigger from the baseline. Feeds inside a streaking Ada Stanley, whose shot is off the mark, and then Gomez crashes the glass. Body's on the floor. Jump ball will bring it the other way. 8:08 remaining. 16-13 our score. Cards lead by 3. Halftime, we'll recap stats. We'll check the Mountain East scoreboard this afternoon. We'll check on the baseball as well. Boys are down at King playing as we speak. Around the perimeter go the Cardinals on offense. Rohart up top to Harrison. Harrison feeds to Rohart, bounces it right to wing to Burton. Burton in the corner finds Cashwell, and Cashwell another 3. And a 6-point lead, biggest lead of the afternoon for the Cardinals. It's 19-13. KJ top of the key, picks up her dribble, goes to JK. JK dribbles, thought about spotting up, feeds inside to Ada instead. Ada going to work, spin move, and she'll be fouled on the shot. Good take by Ada. Ada will shoot 2. That is McCord's second. Stanley's first free throw is true. We'll be on the road for the next couple of weeks. All things Cavaliers. Check it out, UVAWiseCavs.com. As Ada hits on both. And a late sub for the Cardinals. We'll get Lipscomb back in the ball game. She'll check in for Rohart. McCord will stay with 2 fouls. That's interesting. 4-point advantage Jesuit as they'll bring the basketball up. Harrison goes to Burton, back up top to Harrison. 2-3 zone extended by the Cavaliers. Cashwell in the corner. Touch pass right back to her. They'll feed back to Burton. Burton drives right at Stanley. Floater off the mark. Rebound inside. The Cards kept it alive, and in the corner, Lipscomb is trapped and then throws it away as JK comes right at us, almost saved it, but it goes right to Burton. Burton back in the corner. Long 3 on the way, off the mark from Lipscomb. And the Cards get another defensive rebound, and they'll reset. That's a big board right there. Burton will bring it back out. She'll give up to Harrison. Back to Burton, who swings left to Cashwell. All the way back around, touch pass from Burton to Harrison. They'll feed inside. Going to work is McCord, and McCord goes to work. Backs in Mackenzie Keene and gets the 2.
I think refs on that thought she had a little acting on that, so I guess that's why she didn't get
they let it go. McKean handles the basketball up top, down 6. KJ goes away from a pick, spins at the elbow, drops it back to McKenzie, and gives it up to Ada. Ada Gomez. Gomez, spot up 3. That one's a little right and off the mark. Out of bounds it goes. Kept alive by JK, who hustled to keep it alive, but the Cavs almost came up with it. But now they're outnumbered in the front court. The drive by Lipscomb stripped away by JK, and she'll come up the loose ball. What a nice series by JK. Will bounce it down to Ada in the front court. Back up top, McKenzie wants 3, and it'll rim out on her. Rebound inside, and who other than JK Cummings? She is a spark plug tonight.
She always gives you the energy off the bench that you need.
Lipscomb picks up her first foul. It'll be on the floor. Lipscomb will come out, as will Harrison. Checking back in is Rohart. Inbounds goes to McKenzie. McKenzie to the top of the key. Gives up to Ada. Ada spots up. 3 ball off the mark. KJ was crashing. And out of bounds it goes. They're going to say it was off Kaylee.
I think that's one thing Willa Jesuits can live with is Ada Stanley shooting 3s because that's usually not her strong suit. She's usually great in the paint, so Willa Jesuit can live with that if she makes them.
Ryan Nelson also checked in last dead ball. She'll handle the rock as she kicks it to Cashwell. Back to Nelson. Nelson drives, finds Cashwell on the wing. 3 ball is good. That's her 3rd 3 of the night. Cashwell is money. It's 24-15. And the Cavs need a bucket. Mackenzie Keene goes left to JK, gives her a pick. JK around, now feeds into Ada. Ada going to work, bounces it into KJ, and it's on the floor. Jump ball, will leave it there. 5:05 remaining, so we'll not take our media timeout here.
Right now, Wise is in desperate need for a bucket. I don't think they've made a field goal today, right? It was just 2 free throws, I want to say.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sanita checks in for McKenzie. 24-15. It bounds into Cummings. Cummings 3 on the way is short. Sanita crashes the glass, gets it back, gives to Ada. Ada finds Gomez. Gomez on the drive. Shot hits the side of the backboard. It's still loose on the floor. Sanita throws it over to Ada. Good save by Sanita. Over to KJ. KJ baseline jumper from there. It rims out. Ada puts it back up and in. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. It's 24-17.
The Cavaliers really have to work on getting them second chance points to use that as their advantage to getting the points that they need going down the stretch. Nelson
up top handles the rock. The Cavs are out of sync offensively. They've got to fight for buckets this afternoon, it seems like. Defensive end, they're in the 2-3 as Burton spots up. Long 3 off the mark, and JK skies for the board. Cavs push. Gomez hands off to KJ. KJ switches it up off a pick from Stanley to the baseline, feeds inside to Ada. Not a good pass, and loose ball scooped up by Nelson. Nelson to the rack through 2 Cavaliers, and she'll be fouled on the shots. They're going to pick, JK's going to pick that one up. And we'll shoot free throws after our Food City Media timeout. Cavs down 7 here in the second quarter. You're watching Cavalier basketball here, the Cavalier Sports Network.
Mouth was dry.
3:54 remaining first half, 24-17 our score. Peyton McCord, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Led the Cardinals most of the first half. Now, Talia Cashwell with 3 threes has 9 points and 3 rebounds for the Cavaliers. Sunita Webb with 4 points and 5 rebounds, doing work inside. Ada Stanley off the bench with 6 points, 2 rebounds. And Buster, the Cavaliers past couple of possessions has been out of sync offensively. What do they got? Do they just got to have to calm down? What do they've got to do here?
I think they're doing all right. They just have to make their layups. When you see it, they're getting second chance buckets, but they just can't finish with it. And one thing that's really helping them a lot is the free throws, because they're not shooting that well, but they're 7 for 8 from the free throw line, while Will and Jesuit hasn't shot any yet. So that's been one thing that's kept us in the game from being even worse than what it already is.
Nelson, you mentioned free throws, hits both of the first 2 that they shoot. It's 26-17. The Cavs down 9. Biggest lead of the night for the Cardinals. Gomez goes to the corner to JK, who finds Sunita on the baseline. Sunita will dribble out of trouble. Up top to Gomez. Gomez back in the corner to Ada. Ada up top to JK, who feeds high post to Sunita, who goes to work with the left hand, and she'll be fouled on the take. Good take right there by Sunita. Zach Helton, Buster Henderson, Steve Kern is in Florida. Who knows what he's doing? Sunita hits the front end. We'll see Steve back in a couple weeks, probably with a nice tan.
Yeah, probably.
Sunita hits both of them. 26-18. I'm going to have to hit the tanning bed for the next week and a half before Steve gets back, so I don't look so pale. Quick Gomez out. Janice Ladson back in. Here comes Ryan Nelson with the basketball. 3.5 to go in the first half. Nelson leaves for Cashwell. Cashwell 3 for 3 from the behind the arc. She'll drive this time to the rack. Left-hand layup off the mark, and Ada Stanley pulls down the rebound.
UVA Wise going back to the man defense, as you can see. I guess the 2-3 zone was really hurting them from the 3. So
Cashwell was hitting them left and right. As Sunita takes it right to the rack, and the left-hand scoop shot is good.
She's really good at that left-hand scoop shot. She's right-handed, so she's very dominant with the left hand, even though she's right-handed.
Sunita's starting to take over in the post. They feed into McCord. McCord, offensive foul. And it's like we mentioned a moment ago, Ada Stanley has been taking charges left and right, and she takes one right there. That was textbook.
This is probably the longest period of time that I've saw a game and not seen an offensive foul from the girl. So
McCord will come out. That's her 3rd foul. That's huge. Alyssa Edwards-Frick will check back in for the Cardinals. Cavs looking to cut into the 5-point deficit. Oliver off an Ada Stanley pick in the corner to JK. JK spots up 3 ball off the mark. Kyra Burton pulls down the rebound. Cardinals are going to run with it. Up ahead to Cashwell. Cashwell dribbles inside and then dribbles it back out. Nelson will reset. 2.5 to go, 20 on the shot clock. Like you said, Buster, Cavs are back in the man-to-man. Frick handles the rock. They'll swing it near side back to Nelson on the wing. Up top to Cashwell. It's covered up by Oliver. Feeds to a streaking Burton. Burton at the free throw line. Kicks out. Rohart on the drive. Push shot at the shot clock buzzer is no good. And here comes Ladson. She's in a hurry.
1-on-3.
3 defenders. She'll drop it off for Oliver's 3 on the way. That one's off the mark. Rebound tipped around, and Sunita comes up with it. Back up to Oliver. She'll feed to Janice. Janice looking inside. Sunita's covered up. They'll kick in the corner to Ada. Ada finds JK at the high post. JK to the rack, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Once again, 2 more free throws, which has been helping them stay in this game so far.
Hannah Oliver having an off afternoon. She hasn't hit a shot yet from the field. So we'll see who in white picks up the slack for her. JK's first free throw is true. In between shots, Cards will send Tori Harrison back on the floor. She'll come in for Rohart. Under 2 to go here in the first half. JK's second free throw off the mark. Chased down the corner by Edwards-Frick. Nelson all the way to the rack as she gets it from Frick and gets the roll. 28-22, 140 to go. Ladson brings it across for the Cavaliers. She'll go right to Oliver. Oliver deep on the wing, up top to Sunita, who swings it to Janice. Janice feeds inside to Ada, and Ada's fouled from behind by Ashley Rohart. So Rohart has 2. That could provide big for the Cards as well. Stanley will shoot 2. First one is good. Rohart will sit the remainder of the half. Allie Taylor, 5'9" freshman guard out of Parkersburg, checks in for her. Ada, second free throw off the mark. Rebound still loose, but cleaned up by the Cards. Here comes Harrison in the front court. Drops off to Taylor, who feeds inside to Frick, and it's knocked out by Ada Stanley. Taylor will pull the trigger from the corner. Cavs man up. Up top they go to Nelson. Nelson didn't start, but she's played a majority of this first half. JK will give her some room to work. 1:10 on the clock, 13 on the shot clock. Now Nelson gears it down. Up top to Taylor. Taylor shot fake, drives, and shoots the pass over the head of Edwards Fricks and out of bounds. So no foul called, but a turnover nonetheless, and the Cavs will get the ball back with 1:01 remaining. They let that one go, but nonetheless, the Cavs get the basketball back. Ladson over to JK, spins by her defender, spots up 3 ball, little strong, and Nelson crashes and cleans it up. Ladson will pick up Nelson in the front court. Nelson drives by, and inside she drops it off to Edwards Frick, who gets the easy 2.
Looked like Ada got caught slipping on the backside of that one, a pick and roll.
Yeah, Ada crashed in as as Nelson went by Ladson, and Frick was wide open. 30-23, 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Ladson will slow it down, try to use as much as she can. She'll hand off to Oliver with 10 on the clock. Oliver, left-hand dribble. Gets a pick from Ada, spots up. Inside she feeds to Sunita. Shot off the mark. Ada's tip back up and in with the left hand. Ada Stanley might as well put a cape on as she saves the day, and the Cards will not throw up a last-second shot.
That was great.
30-25. Cards lead by 5, but a nice end for the Cavs to end the half. Halftime show coming up. You're watching Cavalier basketball right here on the Cavalier Sports Network. 30-25 are scores. We begin the third quarter. The Cardinals, William Jesuit, will be going from right to left towards the curtain here. A little tougher end of the floor to shoot on. And Kaylee Johnson harassing the entry pass to start the third quarter. KJ, Ladson, Oliver, Noko, and Sunita starting 5 back on the floor in white. Burton, Harrison, Cashwell on the floor, along with Lipscomb. McCord is on the floor as well. Dribble drive by Burton up top. Lipscomb feeds into Cashwell, and that one's stolen away. Trying to feed into McCord, but nonetheless, Cavs come up with the basketball. Drops it off to KJ. KJ jab step. Now to the hoop with the left hand, a little short. Noko inside, had a handle on it, and out of bounds it goes. It'll go back to the Cards.
So far, most of UVA-wise shooting struggles has been missed layups. They've been getting great looks all game.
Getting great looks and just can't get it to go. And you're exactly right. They've got to clean that up if they want to have a chance today. Into the front court comes Tori Harrison. Harrison clears traffic. To the right wing she goes. Feeds inside to Lipscomb. Lipscomb has her shot knocked away, and here comes Sunita. Sunita in the front court, stops at the free throw line, kicks to KJ. KJ pondering a 3, leaves it up top to Ladson instead, who swings to Oliver in the corner to Sunita. Sunita feeds to the post to Noko. Noko turns, now drives, backing in defender, gets the teardrop to go. Good work by Noko, finding the sweet spot and getting the 2. Cavs score first here in the second half, and they're down 3. Harrison in the front court, left-hand dribble, hands off to Cashwell. Cashwell was money in the first half. She'll give up to Burton. Burton away from Ladson, hands off to Harrison, who takes it inside, and her shot's too strong. Noko down with the rebound. Ladson pushes up ahead. Looking inside to Sunita, who's front and back. Noko swings it over to Oliver. Oliver on the drive to the baseline, to the rack. Left hand is a little short. Noko's put back off the glass and in.
Noko making the presence known early in the second half.
No one boxed out Noko, and Noko has 4 here in the third quarter. She's cut the deficit to 1. Cavs man up. They swing it right to Burton. Burton and Ladson. That's been a fun matchup all day. Burton spots up long 3. That one's off the mark. KJ pulls down the easy board. Kaylee will bring it up. Johnson stops. Pops. Long 2. Got it. I feel like in the back of the mind of KJ, she knew all the way the spot that she was going to stop and pop, and the Cavs retake a 31-30 lead. Harrison in the front court. Cavs on a 6-0 run to start the third. Harrison looking inside. McCord covered up. She goes right to Burton. Burton up to Cashwell in the corner to Harrison. Harrison feeds into McCord. McCord double team. Gets the basketball, and her shot's knocked away by Noko. Noko with the block. Here comes Sunita with the basketball. Cavs on a run. Oliver with a shot fake. Dribbles back and gives to Sunita. Sunita gives up to Ladson with 20 on the shot clock. Cavs will reset the offense. Ladson right-hand dribble looking inside. Now finds a seam. Push shot with the right hand a little strong. Rebound. Peyton McCord. She boxed out Sunita perfectly. Harrison drives. Spots. Long 2. Got it. Went right at KJ. KJ gave her a little room to work, and she hit the long 2. It's 32-31. Cards back on top. Ladson looks left. Goes right to Oliver. Oliver off 2 picks. Spots up. Gives it back to Noko. Noko's long 2. Rattles out. McCord with another defensive rebound.
As a coach, you're fine with that play.
Yeah, Cashwell trying to push up ahead. Noko knocks it out, though. Good defense by Noko. Yeah, good ball movement and a good look. Then just rimmed out for Noko. 32-31. Cavs lead by, trail by 1, excuse me. Been back and forth, Buster. I lose my spot sometimes. Inbounds up top to Harrison. Harrison goes right off 2 picks. Noko picks her up on the right wing. Inside they go to McCord, and McCord had perfect position. She gets away from Sunita and gets the easy 2.
Jansen's a tad bit late coming back on the help side on that lob.
34-31.
Either bringing it up the court.
First half, you mentioned it, Buster. Cavs defense were not switching. They were staying with their man. Now they're switching off the picks. We'll see if that's the trend here in the second half as KJ drives to the baseline up top to Oliver. Oliver been held in check this afternoon. Feeds to Noko. Gives back to Oliver, streaking to the hoop. And her left-hand layup comes out, but Sunita cleans it up and puts it back up and in.
It's great to have a player like Sunita to always come in and get those buckets when you need them, especially on the rebounder.
Sunita with an offensive board in the putback, cuts it back to 1. Oliver having a tough afternoon. She was just shaking her head as she heading down the court. She's been grinding all day. She's held with 2 points, both 3 free throws. McCord, top of the key now. Looking inside, nothing there. She'll give up to Cashwell. Oliver, though, has picked things up on the defensive end. She'll give Cashwell a little room. Cashwell spots up and gets the 3. Cashwell, that's her 4th 3 of the afternoon. She's 4 for 4 from behind the arc. She has 12, and the Cards are back up by 4. Oliver kicks to Ladson. Ladson feeds into Sunita. Sunita turns, finds KJ in the corner. Her 3 on the way, off the mark. Noko had it for a second, then Sunita gets the loose ball and puts it back up and in.
It's like her 30th offensive rebound of the game.
Sunita Webb taking over inside. The Cavs are back within 2. McCord in foul trouble, giving Sunita a little room to work as Harrison drives and then stripped from behind by KJ. KJ got burnt, but good job not giving up as they try to feed it into KJ. And they're going to say it was out on KJ as the Pryor Center crowd groans. Food City timeout here in the third quarter. 37-35 our score, 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's Leah Cashwell, 4 for 4 from behind the arc, has 12 points. Peyton McCord in foul trouble has 10 points for the Cardinals. Only Cavalier in double figures so far tonight is Sunita Webb, 12 points, 11 boards, already a double.
That's crazy.
Backcourt pressure put on by the Cavaliers out of the media timeout. Burton will bring it up. Burton has Janice Ladson on her hip, and then they switch up top. Oliver will take over. Burton goes right off a pick. Noko picks it up. They'll swing back up top to Lipscomb. Lipscomb picked up by Webb. They'll feed inside to McCord. Back up top to Lipscomb. Lipscomb on the drive. Right hand push shot. Rattles home. Halfway through the third. Cavs down 4. Latson up top. Goes left to Oliver. Oliver looking inside. Finds JK, who just came into the ball game. She'll spot up for 3 and leaves it short. Ashley Rohart.
A little bit today. I want to say 0 for 3 so far.
Cavs are having a tough time from behind the arc this afternoon. 0 from 9. Not Cavalier basketball whatsoever. Up top, they lead for Lipscomb. Lipscomb on the left-hand drive. To the rack. She pushes it in with the right hand. Good take again. Lipscomb 4 straight points. And the Cards are back up by 6. 41-35. Ladson, Noko, Sanita, Oliver, and Cummins on the floor for the Cavaliers. Oliver left wing. Inside she goes to Sanita. Sanita backing in Lipscomb. Kicks back to Noko. Noko's 3 on the way. That one's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Rohart. Here comes Burton for the Cards. She's going to go coast to coast, and she'll be fouled on the shot.
So far, they come out this media timeout being very aggressive. Driving to the bucket, getting fouls, getting easy layups.
Yeah, Burton's been aggressive all afternoon, and in the past couple of possessions, Lipscomb from the high post and low post has been doing work. Kiara Burton, first free throw is good.
You said it right this time.
Keeping me in check, Buster. Burton hits them both. Her first 2 free throws of the afternoon. Ada Stanley will check in for the first time here in the second half, giving Oliver a breather. Under 3 to go here in the third. 43-35. Cavs down 8. Latson goes left, gives up to JK. JK going to work on Cashwell. Up top to Sanita, swings it in the right corner to Noko, trying to feed it inside to Ada, and Ada is fouled on the floor. That'll be the first team foul on Wheeling Jesuit here in the third quarter. And they'll call that one on Rohart, her third. JK off the inbounds is swatted away by Rohart. Loose ball scooped up and then stolen back by Ada. Ada at the block. Shot off the mark. And that's just the Cavalier luck today as Burton with a cherry will lay it up and in. Burton was in the backcourt with a lawn chair waiting on that pass and gets the easy 2, and the Cavs are down 10. Biggest lead of the afternoon for Jesuit. Ladson looks inside. Now drives, Euro step, floater, comes out. And that's another good look, and Burton pulls down the board.
Pretty much been a story all day for UVA wise.
Burton gives up to Cashwell. Cashwell has been hot this afternoon. She'll dribble up top to slow down the offense. Under 2 to go here in the third. Shooting stats are horrendous for the Cavaliers. We'll check on that at the end of the quarter. Cashwell hands off to Burton. 5 on the shot clock. Burton step back, long 2.
Oh my God.
Splash.
She's getting hot right now.
Luckily for the Cavs, that was a long 2, and it's a 12-point disadvantage. 90 seconds to go, third quarter. Ladson looking inside. The Cavs need a bucket. Inside to go to Sanita, and Sanita with the left hand. It's good, and Coach Klusman wants to draw something up. 1:18 left here in the third. Full timeout. We'll take it with them. 47-37 our score. Cavs were down 12. That's been the biggest lead of the afternoon for Wheeling Jesuit. They've cut it to 10. Out of the timeout, back on the floor for the Cavs, Mackenzie Keene will check in. Janice, JK, Ada, and Sanita will stay. Cardinals will inbound and face a full court defense. Rohart, the timeline, will hand off to Burton, and they'll bring it across. 1:10 left, third quarter. Cavs need a stop in the bucket before we head to the fourth. Burton will swing to Cashwell. Cashwell thought about going to Rohart, goes back to Burton. Burton off a pick from McCord. Now finds a seam on the baseline. Floater from there off the mark. Rebound inside by Edward Sprigg, and we have a jump ball. We're going back the other way. Good job inside to tie that one up. Otherwise, Edward Sprigg was going to get a good look at the hoop. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Cavs got the stop. Now they need the bucket. They can cut this back to single digits heading to the fourth. I think they'll be in business. The great news is they can't shoot much worse. Sanita looking inside. Ada sets a couple of picks. Now she'll bounce out to the corner. Inside goes Sanita at the block. Backing into the defender, gets the entry pass, and then throws it away. Burton and Ladson will meet at the timeline. 30 seconds to go. 5 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Burton and Ladson all day. Ladson tries to go for the steal. Burton goes by her. Spots up 3 off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Cashwell. They'll swing it out to Rohart, and the shot clock is off. Cardinals reset. Burton holds the basketball. 8, 7, 6. Burton on the drive. Kicks in the corner to Rohart. Rohart now drives at the buzzer. Layup is good. 49-37. Cardinals lead by 12 after 3. You're watching Cavalier basketball right here on the Cavalier Sports Network. Cardinals lead by 12 as we begin the fourth quarter. Largest lead of the afternoon for the second time for Willie Jesuit. And we were mentioning the break buster. 29% from the field, 13 of 45. They are 0 for 11 from behind the arc. The only thing keeping them in this ball game is shooting close to 80% from the line, 11 of 14.
The one thing I was really looking forward to was seeing them have more bench points. And in this case, Willie Jesuit is actually outscoring them 8 to 10 in the bench points.
And you mentioned 2 second chance points. Wise only has 11 off 13 offensive rebounds. Cards will have the basketball first. Around the perimeter, they work to Rohart. Rohart drives, picks up her dribble, goes back out to Cashwell. Cashwell has dropped all sorts of threes. She shot better than the Cavs by herself. She'll lead for Burton, though, on 5 on the game clock. Shot clock, I should say, as Burton drives, then kicks. Lipscomb, long three at the buzzer is good. And that's exactly how this afternoon has been going for the Cavaliers. They played tremendous defense for 29 seconds, and the last second heave gets an easy 3. Ladson off a pick, gives up to Mackenzie King. King, J.K., Cullen, Ada Stanley, and Ladson on the floor for the Cavs. J.K. feeds into Ada. Ada backing in McCord, up and under, off the glass and in. That's what Ada Stanley has to do. McCord's already in foul trouble. They got to go right at her. If not, put pressure on the inside and let the outside open up. 52-39. Cashwell in the corner to Lipscomb. Lipscomb dribbles out to Burton. In the corner to Rohart. Rohart left-hand dribble drive to the rack, left-hand layup off the mark. McCord's rebound put back out as well, and Mackenzie King cleans it up. Up ahead to Ladson. Ladson bounces to a streaking Ada Stanley, and Stanley lays it in with the left hand.
Jesuit got caught lacking on that transition.
Ada Stanley, 4 points to start the corner. She has 13 on the night. Cavs have cut it to 11. They started the third quarter off the same way. Inside they feed to McCord. McCord shot too strong, and Mackenzie King with another rebound. Ladson brings it up, drops it off to King. King thought about 3. Now she'll drive the left hand all the way to the rack. No foul called. Wow.
That's crazy. Okay.
Coach Klusman fired up. Everyone in red fired up. In the meantime, Cashwell lays it up and in. Cashwell was the only one not called up on that call, and she gets the easy 2. King spots up top of the key. Lets traffic clear. Feeds in the high post to Stanley. Stanley going to work. Up and under with the right hand this time. Both hands work equally well for Ada Stanley. 54-43. Ada now with 15 off the bench. They've got to keep feeding Ada.
Exactly.
They need to stop here in the meantime. Rohart, top of the key, leaves for Cashwell. Cashwell feeds into McCord. McCord, offensive foul. Ada Stanley wants to take over this ball game. She'll pick up the charge there. McCord now has 4 fouls.
Right now, UVA Wise still has a lot of time, so if they want to start making shots, now would be the perfect time.
And surprising enough, McCord's going to stay in the ball game.
4 fouls.
Ada's going to post up on her and gets the pass. Loses it for a second. Now let's traffic clear. Back up to King. King gives up to J.K., who swings it to Cullen. Cullen, high pass,
that could have been a foul.
knocked away. Jesuit comes up with the basketball. Rohart will bring it up. 54-43. Cardinals lead by 11. Under 7 to go. Burton with 13 points. Her and Ladson have all but exchanged Christmas cards today. They'll meet one more time. Burton on the drive. She'll be found on the floor. That'll be on Ladson. I think it's just her second. Inbounds quickly into Lipscomb, and Lipscomb will be fouled on the shot.
Questionable call.
So Cullen will pick up the foul. That is Cullen's third, team's second. Lauren Lipscomb. First free throw is short. Neither team will sub here. Interesting. 6.5 to go in the fourth. Couple of girls in foul trouble, both sides. Lipscomb's second free throw rattles out. Break for the Cavs. Ada cleans it up. She'll give to Ladson. Ladson directing traffic with the left hand, now switches hands with the basketball. Ada's covered up. They'll give up to Cullen, who swings it to JK. JK looking inside, finds Ada in the corner. Ada looking for McKenzie. McKenzie looks away from McKenzie and finds Cullen streaking to the heat. And Cullen will be fouled. I was looking straight at McKenzie Keene, and Ashley Cullen came out of nowhere. And Ada Stanley fortunately found her, and Cullen will shoot two. And McCord is done. I mentioned moments ago, I thought with her fourth foul, maybe they pull her out, but they left her in, and she picks up 2 fouls here in the first 4 minutes of the fourth, and she is done for the day.
She had a pretty good game, too. 10 points, right?
10, at least 10 points. Yep, 10 points, 5. Cullen's first free throw is good. In for her is Alyssa Edwards-Frick. Timeout on the floor. Things are starting to heat up for the Cavaliers. Cullen hit the front end. She'll have one more out of the timeout. Ashley's second free throw is true. Ashley Cullen now with 2 points. 54-45. Cavs down 9. Ladson and Burton at it again. They'll drop up top to Frick. Frick wants 3. It's no good. Rohart with the board.
Oh,
and a walk.
I knew it was one of those calls.
Cashwell walked with it. That's her first mistake of the day. She's been almost spotless from the field, but she turns it over. And the Cavs here to cut it even closer. Cullen, bounce pass into King. King shovel pass to Ada. Ada lost it, gets it back. Put back is
3 seconds.
Off the mark. They'll call 3 seconds. Wow. That was a quick 3 seconds.
It was. 1.5 seconds.
Turnover for a turnover. Cashwell will bring it up. JK will meet her at the timeline. 5:40 and counting. We have a media timeout coming up from Food City. Cavs in the man-to-man. Cashwell off a pick. Picked up by King at 12 on the shot clock. An offensive foul. Alyssa Edwards-Frick with an offensive foul. Used the arm to get free. That'll be her second, team third. Ladson brings it up. Cavs need another bucket. Cullen looks inside, it's covered up, finds Ada at the free throw line. Ada now looks, now drives to the rack. Good take. She'll be fouled from behind, and she'll head to the line to shoot a pair. That's the 4th team foul. The Cavs will be in the bonus for the rest of the ball game. That's also the 3rd foul on Edwards-Frick. That's big as well. Cullen's first free throw is true. I said Cullen, I meant Stanley. Stanley has 16. Sanita Webb will head to the scores table. She'll check in after the free throw is made by Stanley. Sanita will come in for McKenzie. Janice, JK, Cullen, Ada, and Sanita on the floor. 5:15 and counting. Cavs are within 7 again. Burton across the timeline trying to get a cheap foul on Ladson. Ladson just shaking her head and giving a nice smile. Burton will bag it up.
Oh, good. Oh,
almost throws it away. Cullen almost had the interception. And they're going to say it was out on Jesuit. What a break call there.
Yeah, it was. You notice when Ashley plays, she's always trying to being safety and always trying to read that pass and get the turnover.
Another turnover for the Cardinals. They're giving the Cavs ample opportunity here in the fourth. In the corner, Sunita looking in for Ada. She's front and back. They'll bring it up to Janice instead. Ladson feeds into Sunita. Sunita going to work. Off the glass and in. Sunita Webb, big bucket. And we'll shoot a free throw after the timeout. You're watching Cavalier basketball right here on the Cavaliers Sports Network. Or maybe not. We'll shoot it here, I guess. Sunita's free throw is good. I guess that last timeout was the media timeout. Nonetheless, it's a 4-point ball game. Cashwell will bring it up. The Cavs on a run. Cashwell guarded by Cummings. He'll swing it to Rohart. Rohart on the drive to the rack, and she'll be fouled on the floor. One set on the floor, one set on the shot. Now they're going to say it was on the shot. Okay. Rohart will shoot two nonetheless. Rohart's first rattles home. 55-50. The foul was called on J.K. Cummings, her team third. Second free throw off the mark. Cullen cleans the glass. Cullen will bring it up. Cullen sees his opening. Spin move, and her shot's a little short. She had a nice look, but left it a little short, and the Cards will bring it back up. 55-50. Burton can't get away from Ladson. Burton gets a handoff there, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor from Willing Jesuit at some point. Burton, now the timeout, gets the inbounds. 15 on the shot clock. And Ladson picks up a foul in the reach. That's an interesting call, Buster. They've let more egregious things go here today.
So. I mean, sometimes refs are just wishy-washy. You don't know what you're going to get from them.
I think Coach Lannis over there was alerting the officials to keep an eye on that. That's Janice's third foul. We're going to have another defensive foul, this time on Cullen.
The bonus.
4 minutes to go. That'll be Cullen's fourth, says the scoreboard. Anyway, we're in the bonus. Rohart misses the front end. 55-54 to go. Rohart's second is off the mark as well, and Cullen makes up for the foul with the rebound. 5-point disadvantage for the Cavs. Cullen gives up to Janice. Janice looking left, now dribbling left, gives it up to J.K. J.K. looking inside, swings it back up to Janice, who gives up to Ada on the right wing. Ada looking inside. Sunita's covered up, back to Janice. Janice to J.K. 12 on the shot clock in the corner. Cullen wants three. Cullen hits the first three of the afternoon, and it couldn't have came at a better time. Cavs within 2, 3.5 to go.
That was a shot they desperately need to go.
There's not a lid outside after all. Wow.
Hopefully that shot can open up a lot more three-pointers coming down the line.
Ladson right on Burton. Gets a pick, but Ladson picks her back up. Burton throws up a prayer, and it's off the mark, and Ladson brings it up. Ladson with an opportunity to tie or take the lead. Leaves to J.K. J.K. for the lead. Got it! J.K. just hits big shots, and the Cavs are back on top. 56-55.
Coaches always say, shoot or shoot. If you have an off game, just keep shooting it.
Speaking of shooters, Buster, Cashwell will bring it up, and Jesuit wants a timeout. Full timeout, we'll take it with them. Cavs on top with under 3 to go. You're watching Cavalier basketball right here on the Cavalier Sports Network. As the Cavs on top, it'll be Cardinal basketball in the front court now of the timeout. Let's reset things for you. Jesuit now has only one timeout. The Cavs have 3 in their pocket. Both teams are in the bonus, so any foul other than the charge or a block, mostly a charge, will result in a free throw. The possession arrow favors the Cavaliers. Cavs send out Cullen, Stanley, J.K., Ladson, and Sunita. More than likely, that'll be the 5 Cavaliers to play the rest of this one. Burton and Ladson out on the perimeter. 15 on the shot clock. Burton trying to get rid of Ladson.
Oh, wow.
And Burton gets bailed out.
And you see Janice wanted to call of her hooking her. She actually hooked her, actually.
Yeah, I do not blame. If I was Janice Ladson, I'd probably be a little more perturbed than that. That's Ladson's fourth. Burton was hitting the deck and was bailed out by that call, and Burton will shoot 2. Burton's first. Off the mark.
As we say in basketball, the ball don't lie.
The ball don't lie. The basketball gods make things work. As Burton's second free throw is true, and we're tied at 56. Ladson with 4 fouls will bring it up. Shakes by Burton. Up top to Cullen. Cullen looking inside. Stanley from left block to right block. They'll give to J.K. instead. J.K. to the free throw line. Drops off to Cullen. Cullen momentarily thought about a 3. Will go to the right wing. Give up to J.K. J.K. up top to Cullen. 10 on the shot clock. Cullen on the drive. Cullen to the rack. Push shot too strong. Rebound inside, and there'll be a foul on the floor. Sunita Webb will head to the line to shoot 2 as she was in great position for the rebound, and from behind she was pushed. And that'll be the 4th on Lipscomb. So Lipscomb in foul trouble. Sunita's first free throw rattles out. Needed that one. McCord's night has been done for a while. If Lipscomb will foul out, Sunita may have a heyday if she hits 1 of 2. Cavs back on top, 57-56. 2:23 in the 4th. We'll say regulation. This one may go extra. Cashwell shot the lights out today, brings it up. She's met by J.K. Right wing, picks up her dribble, bounces up top to Burton. Burton away from Ladson, off a pick. Sunita picks her up. Then Ladson picks her back up top. They'll give it up to Lipscomb outside. Lipscomb feeds into Frick, and Frick with a turnaround gets it to go. Edwards Frick, nice post move. The Cards are back on top with 1:50 to go. Ladson pointed inside, letting traffic clear. Gives it up to Stanley. Stanley spins in the lane, off the glass and in. Death taxes and Ada Stanley in the lane are all automatic.
I know Coach Cooley was probably ripping the hair off that shot, but got excited as soon as it went in.
59-58, 90 seconds to go. Burton on the drive, drops off to Lipscomb. Offensive foul. Sunita Webb takes the charge. That is huge. So the charge will give the Cavs the basketball under 90 seconds to go. Sunita was waiting there with a drink in her hand and took the charge nicely. Sunita with the basketball, kicks in the corner to Cullen. Cullen looks inside, feeds to Ada.
Great.
Ada wide open, layup is good. Ada Stanley was in perfect position, and the Cavs are up by 3 with a minute to go.
I think right now defense, right? I think they just limit Cashwell to the worst shot she could take, because they're probably going to go to her for a 3.
Burton looks inside, nothing there, and a cheap foul outside is Cullen on the push. So Cullen's afternoon is done. That's her 5th foul. Well, and they're going to confer here. I don't think it was it? Obviously it was. She'll come out. Cullen, heck of an afternoon off the bench.
Gave them a great spark they needed.
Cavs fans across the way in the arena give her a hand. 1 of 2 on the way. First one's off the mark from Rohart. (61-58). Cavs been down most of the day. They lead by 3, make it 2. As Rohart hits 1 of 2. 50 seconds on the game clock. Ladson strolls across the timeline. A lot of backdoor movement. Now Sunita will come to the high post. Clears out. Ada sets a pick for J.K. J.K. left wing gets the basketball from Janice. In the corner she finds Oliver. Oliver dribbles out of trouble to J.K. Almost had it knocked away. There's 8 on the shot clock. J.K. spots up inside to Stanley. Stanley to the rack. Layup is good. Ada security blanket. Stanley makes it a 4-point ball game, 63-59, and Jesuit calls their last timeout. Huddle first. Ada, J.K., Oliver, Sunita, and Janice on the floor. Jesuit will counter with Burton, Lipscomb, Cashwell, Edwards Frick, and Rohart will pull the trigger across the way in front of the scores table. Into Burton. Shot clock is off. 15. Burton spots up for 3. It's short. Rebound chased down by Hannah Oliver. Oliver weaves through traffic at the timeline. She'll be fouled, and with 8 seconds, Hannah Oliver will have an opportunity here to put this one on ice.
Great comeback by the Cavaliers today. It wasn't as pretty, but they did the thing they needed to down the stretch to pull away with this victory.
Oliver has had a tough afternoon from the field, but at the free throw line, she's automatic. 3 for 3, and that one makes it a 5-point ball game. Make it 6 as that one rattles home. Oliver with 4 free throws, and the last 2 were huge. A deep 3 a little early off the mark from Cashwell. Ada Stanley, appropriately enough, gets the last rebound of the night, and she'll carry the basketball to the bench. Ada Stanley, MVP today, 65-59 post game coming up